Okay, look, I started in research probably 8 or 9 years ago. Before that, I was a doctor working in intensive care. I then was lucky enough to go overseas and do a Masters of Public Health, and came back to Australia and ran the Centre for Disease Control in Central Australia. So I suppose I had a very sort of high-end clinical background and then a public health background. I was approached 3 years after sort of entering into Alice Springs to set up a research unit in Central Australia. So that was my first foray into research. When we decided what work that we were going to do, it was really pretty easy to decide that Aboriginal health was what I was about and what I needed to focus on for me personally. And so then what we did was deconstruct really the gap in life expectancy for Aboriginal people, and it defined for itself that we should be dealing with heart disease and diabetes and kidney disease, because they fundamentally account for about 80% of the life expectancy differential. So really my research background is unpacking that difficult and complex understanding of why Aboriginal people suffer from high rates of disease, with the fundamental reason of trying to work out what the hell we do about it. So all of my research is focused around those sorts of issues, from both a clinical perspective, from a health systems perspective, and then from a population and policy perspective. Well, it's not very often you get the chance to be a part of something so important and so new, to build the culture of an institute from the ground up, to embed Aboriginal issues and ways of doing business into the very sort of breadth of an institute is really an opportunity that you can't turn down. So for me, it was a chance to be a part of something. You get one shot at life, and you know, I want to be a part of something new and important, and really make my contribution to alongside everyone else here. It's going to be a difficult year. I think you know, I'll have to serve my apprenticeship in South Australia. There's a lot of enthusiasm and interest and excitement about embedding an Indigenous health program across a new medical research institute. So I think that's, you know, the foundations are really strong. But with that will come lots of expectations. I think we'll have to manage those really carefully. There's lots of people who don't really know what SAHMRI is yet and what it can be for them. So it's very important that we undertake all of that work to let people know what it is that we're about, what it is that we're going to do, and how we're going to go about doing it. I think setting the priorities for South Australia and for research around Indigenous matters will take up a large part of the next year. Building a team around me who can actually meet those needs as defined by community and research in South Australia, and then finding our connections across all of the different players, whether it's from a community perspective, from a health systems perspective, or from a political perspective. Really our job in the first year will be to sort of lubricate all of those connections and really to try and make sure that everyone's on the same team. So really that's what I hope to achieve in the next year, that we've got a good plan together, that everyone's on board, that everyone understands what we're about to do together, and that everyone's you know, basically very keen to contribute to Aboriginal health improvement over the next 10 to 20 years.